How's it going?
Uh, it's all good. How about you?
Good. Uh, Sorry about being late. It was a hell of a day today.
No, all good. Um, what did you work on today?
I'm working on a show on Stars called BMF, and it's just always last minute stuff.
What
Lots of
is the sh
craziness.
what
Hmm?
is the show about?
It's about drug dealers in Detroit in the 80s and 90s.
Interesting. Never heard of the show.
It's a true story.
Mm, based on a true story then.
Yeah. So I'm still arranging some stuff. My home office has become a bit of a mess recently.
Okay.
Okay, there. Now you have my attention. What did we want?
Uh,
What did we want to
oh,
talk about today?
think everything? What?
Fair enough.
How was it to work on Stargirl?
I mean, it is like I've been on almost 40 shows now at this point. And Stargirl is far and away like my favorite of all of them to work on and have been involved with. I can't express enough how much I love that show.
Okay. Uh, to be honest, I haven't had a chance to watch it myself yet.
Well, dude, you're missing out. It's really good.
Mm,
Like I went in with high expectations and it consistently surprised me with how good it was, even though I expected it to be really good, you know?
okay, that sounds awesome. Uh, do you know if the Bible of the show will be ever released?
We're hoping uh Jeff Johns expressed to me that he would like for it to be out there because he thinks it's really cool. Um, and it's it's not just text. Like I designed it graphically, so it's really cool looking. And he's like, yeah, I mean, if anyone's interested in publishing it, we should definitely put it out there. But haven't heard anything on it yet. And there's still changes I would need to make because I wrote it before season 3 aired, and there were some changes in the editing that I would need to account for. So a little more work yet to do on it before that could happen. But once I have the time to do that, I'm gonna start poking at Jeff, saying like, "Hey, let's make this happen."
Okay, if it happens, it will be very cool.
Yeah, I'd love to have a. I mean, that would make me a published author at that point, basically.
Yeah,
I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm an author, a graphic designer. Just one more like little checkbox next to my name."
it will be cool for sure. What about the alternate ending?
That I don't know what the determination is. Last I spoke to him, he was thinking about maybe putting it on the Blu-ray, but I don't know if they made that decision or not. I should ask him. But he's been very busy developing another show, so I haven't wanted to bug him too much.
Okay, understandable. How is it working with Jeff Jones?
Um, Jeff is great. Now, I didn't work like directly with him too often, because he's like the very top position of the show, and I'm like way down here. So, normally the person in Jeff's position doesn't even know who I am. So the fact that Jeff ever reached out to me directly about anything is kind of a miracle, and kind of uh goes to what kind of a person and a showrunner he is.
Yeah.
Um as a boss, he's very collaborative and is willing to hear ideas from anyone. Not everyone's like that. They have their vision and they go with that. But in season 2 of Stargirl, uh okay, yeah, you haven't seen the show, so
You
one
can
of our
spoil it.
no spoilers, but downtown Blue Valley, where the show takes place, is a real downtown in a little city called Dallas here in Georgia. And one of the buildings on that main strip is a movie theater. So we created Easter egg movie posters for every season to always go in that place. And for season 2, which had Eclipso in it, I pitched using two particular things as movie posters and Easter eggs. And those were other stories that shared uh, the House of Mysteries title with Eclipso. And that's Mark Merlin, paranormal investigator, and Prince Rahman. Because when Eclipso first came out, he was in House of Mysteries, the comic book, and it was always a double feature. It was the main story, and then Eclipso was the backup story. And so I chose those two other main stories that Eclipso shared his book with. And Jeff loved that so much that that's what was up on the marquee for the entire season, was like Mark Merlin and uh Prince Rahman.
Okay, that's cool.
So, that's just like something I threw out there, and Jeff was like, "Yeah, that's great," and did it. And that's just one example of like how collaborative he is. Even though he's the big boss, he created the character, he runs the whole thing.
Yeah,
He likes hearing other people's ideas and knows that it can enrich the story he's trying to tell.
yeah. Can you reveal something from the show that isn't known to the public yet? Or not really?
Um, I'm pretty sure I've already revealed basically everything that I can. Um, there's uh there's some questions about timeline and things like that that I know, but I don't think Jeff is ready to have it out there yet. And that's one of the core things, is that I respect Jeff's wishes on things of like when people should know what. That's why on my podcast I never did spoilers, be,
Okay, yeah.
you know, of any kind, because I know Jeff has a plan for getting that stuff out there. And at this point, it may not matter so much anymore, but who knows? So I don't want to throw anything out there that I haven't already been given the okay to do.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. You're working now on Gotham Knights podcast, right?
No, Sarah, my co-host from Stargirl After Show, is doing Gotham Knights with her husband. I have not even watched Gotham Knights yet.
Same as I.
But it was shot here in Atlanta, and I know several people that worked on it. Um and that's all I know. I don't even know if it's any good. The trailer looked really, really bad, so I haven't been rushing out to go see it. But we'll see. I'll watch it soon.
I've heard it. I've heard it's hilarious.
Oh, that's not what you want though.
Yeah.
No, yeah. When I think of a Batman related project, I don't think, what would be great? Some hilarity. Unless it's Harley Quinn, and then the hilarity's good.
Understandable. Um, what was your favorite project you worked on outside of Stargirl?
Excuse me. I have a bit of a cough today. I did some side work for for the first three seasons of Preacher, which I very much loved. Um, I it's not a very good show, but I did enjoy working on Sleepy Hollow. I did season three of that, um, which was a lot of fun because they had really cool sets and interesting props and stuff to work on for me, graphics wise. Um, and I did a little bit of work on Star Trek Picard, which is very cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I heard many good things about Picard.
It's a real good show. It's I mean, if you like the character of Picard, it's tops. And he's always been my favorite Star Trek captain. I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. I'm a casual Star Trek fan, but Picard was always my favorite.
I mean, I've seen only Lower Decks season one.
See, that seems like, and I haven't watched that show, but it seems like a show that's meant to really appeal to Star Trek fans. So that's an interesting choice for the one show that you've watched.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's
animated.
probably funnier if you're more steeped in Star
Yeah,
Trek. Man,
yeah, very likely.
you probably miss like half the jokes.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it.
Good. That's on my list. There's too much content now. I would need six of me to be able to watch everything that I actually want to watch.
Yeah.
Oh, I also worked on Walking Dead for a little bit, and that was pretty fun.
Which season?
Season eight, back when Rick was still around.
Okay, I watched till season five, then I couldn't.
So when I was working on the show, and I was so excited, I was telling everybody like, "Oh, I got a job on Walking Dead," and everybody said to me, "Oh, I gave up after season five." Like it's so hard to find anybody that stuck with Walking Dead. My wife and I watched it till the very end. And we were often like, why are we still doing this?
Um, uh, I will watch it till the end, but I don't know when.
Yeah, it's a big ask. And the show really the cast got too big so that you would go like you'd watch this group and then you'd go three episodes following other people before you got back to that story. And it made it really hard to follow, especially if you were watching week to week.
Yeah.
It's just it became ungainly.
What does this mean?
Uh Too big to handle easily.
Okay, yeah.
I said that. I said ungainly, and then I was like, that might not make it through the language barrier.
Yeah, it did not. Uh, y- but you're graphic designer.
Yes.
Mm, what do you exactly do?
That's a big question. Um, Basically, anytime you see a graphic actually on screen, not like visual effects or computer stuff, but anything like in the world with the actors, I've made that. That could be like a t-shirt or a police car or an ambulance or um, a photograph if it needed some editing, put some characters in there together or I don't have it in this drawer anymore. I had a stack of British money from the 1800s that I made for Stargirl that never made it on camera, but like all kinds of stuff. Boxes and packaging and food items and beer bottle labels, uh books, any kind of graphic, really, would be in my purview. And even weird stuff that you'd never expect. Like today on the show that I'm working on, I was making a terrazzo floor. So we're just gonna print that on vinyl and stick it to a floor on our set, and it's gonna look like terrazzo. And so stuff you would never think. Most of the time, you would never notice my work, even if you do see it. Um, Sometimes though, I just did this big uh since I mentioned what show I'm on, let me be careful about this. I just did like a big convention setting scene with like banners and posters and signage everywhere. That's a big thing also, signage. Uh I make, the sign on a window for a shop or all kinds of stuff. But so I just did this giant scene. There's just plastered wall to wall with my graphics everywhere. Um, but most of the time, uh, if you see them, you don't even notice because it's just part of the world. It's nothing like super exciting and in your face for the most part. That was the great thing about Stargirl is because I did stuff with Easter eggs in mind. It's stuff that people were looking out for. And, with those movie posters, I got to reference so many like deep cut comics that I really love, like Sergeant Rock, Prez, GI Robots, The Unknown Soldier. Uh, oh, I did a bunch. Oh, The Haunted Tank was one of my favorite ones. Like stuff most people haven't even heard of, and I'm making movie posters for them that look like they could be a real movie poster. I loved doing that. And
Okay,
some of them you only see like a little corner of or whatever, but when you see them, they're great.
yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. What is your favorite graphic design you did?
Um, there's different things for different reasons. Um, like on Preacher, I got to do this whole manual for a soul sucking machine, where I did like diagrams of the machine and directions on how it works and everything. On Stargirl, I did the JSA logo, which the day I landed on that show, I was like, I'm gonna get to do a JSA logo. And it didn't get used till season 3. But I designed a JSA logo. I was proactive about that because I wanted to be doing that. So that's one of my favorites for sure. And I think the Prez poster, because I don't know if you know about Prez. It's a very short run comic from the 70s about a teenager who becomes president. And then he fights werewolves and stuff. It's bonkers and crazy and one of the best things you could ever read.
Okay. Where can I find it?
It's probably on the DC Universe or wherever you buy comics. They did a more modern, like sort of reboot of it too, but the original 70s comic is just the greatest. I think it's only like 12 or 13 issues or something,
Okay,
but
that's so.
it's great. It's basically uh in the up until the 70s, the age of voting in the US was 21, and then they lowered the age of voting to 18, and Prez was operating under, like, it came out right after that, and it was operating under the idea like, well, what if the age to be president was also lowered to 18, and then one of these anti-war hippies became the president at 18, plus werewolves and stuff. And there's like an evil corporate overlord guy who sort of represents capitalism and like big money, called Boss Smiley, who has a smiley face for a head. It's very creepy. And he's like pulling strings in the background and trying to get Prez to, you know, bow to his will. Really great, weird comic.
Now I wanna read it.
Getting to make a photorealistic Boss Smiley was great. We have to send everything into to lawyers for clearance to make sure that like um they don't have any objections, or they don't think we're going to get sued over using an image that we don't have the rights to or anything like that. And I sent that to her with Boss Smiley in the background, and she goes, "Okay, this is clear to use. Thank you for the nightmares." I made him as creepy as possible. So yeah, that's one of my favorite graphics, that one.
Okay, yeah. I wanna see it.
It's on my Instagram at Stargirl Pod. I don't know how well you ever see it in the show. I mean, it's there, but you don't get like a close up of it or anything.
Okay.
But I
Mm,
had fun making it. That's the important part.
that's true. When you're doing what you love and you're getting paid, it's the best feeling.
Yeah, on my current show, I'm working with my best friend. She's my co-graphic designer. And we we try to do as much funny stuff as we can. The show is not a comedy, so we have to be pretty creative about how we do it, but we make sure to entertain ourselves as much as humanly possible.
Okay, that's cool. Mm. Uh,
Ooh, like here's the thing. Here's the thing I can say about that without giving anything away. We needed to come up with a poster for like a fake rapper, and one of our producers is 50 Cent. He's like the executive producer of the show. So I made up like I got a stock image of a dude like smoking uh rolled up money like a cigar, and I put whole ass dollar on it. Because he's twice the man that 50 Cent is. And that is how you have fun on a non-comedy show, because it really reads like it's a real rapper, but it's a play on 50 Cent's name.
yeah. Mm, How can you say how much do you get paid?
It varies from show to show. I negotiate my rate, and it depends on what they're willing to pay me. But I make about 100,000 a year, uh, give or take, depending on the year. Sometimes higher, sometimes a little bit lower.
Okay, that's a good faith job, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I work hard. We have long hours, 50 hours week minimum. Uh, but you know, I get paid better working in film than I would if I were doing similar work out in the real world. And the real
That's
world is less fun.
that's true. I can I have a question, but I can't think how to translate it.
Well, do your best. I'll do my best to understand. We can work this out.
Um, Dang it. Okay. Do you have how much free time do you have?
What is this free time you speak of?
Uh, you're relaxing.
No, I know what you mean. I'm saying no, I don't really have any. Because I work 10-hour days, add another hour for my commute. So that's like 11 hours, and then I come home and have to like do home stuff. Uh I barely had time to do the podcast, honestly. And my weekends I just spend with my wife. So it's not as much free time as I'd like. I usually have to wait until I'm done with a show and take uh like a month off just to do the stuff I enjoy doing before I take another job.
Okay.
Because otherwise, it's just that's why it was so hard to schedule this because, I get home and there's always something that needs to be done. If you could see my office right now, there's junk everywhere because I just don't have time to keep up with anything.
I I understand. Um,
Also, like the way the TV industry works is everything's really last minute, like rush to get stuff done. Just today I had to make a street map that I had to send out immediately to get printed because it shoots on Monday.
oh God.
So that's why I was at work late. I was finishing that. Uh and when you spend 10 hours like constantly like just trying to like get things done so that it can make it in time to get in front of a camera, you get home and you're just like, "Ah, I am too tired to watch TV." So I just end up scrolling through Reddit for 2 hours and was like, well, I guess I missed watching the DeLorean today. I haven't seen any of this new season of Flash yet. So I still have to catch up on last season. It's it's a lot.
Okay, yeah.
So it's not just a time concern, it's also an energy concern in that I have none.
Okay. Did you work on a blockbuster movie or just TV?
I have worked on a couple of smaller movies. I worked on a Melissa McCarthy movie called Life of the Party, and I worked on a little independent film that just came out last year called 3 Months. Um, and then I've done little side work for a couple of bigger movies, Cock Blockers and uh, one of the Purge movies and Godmothered are the ones I can think of at the moment. I think there are a couple others, but that's just little side stuff, not like ones I worked on the whole time. I've only worked on two features all the way through, which
Okay.
is weird because we do a lot here. But I just keep getting called for TV. And when I do get called for a movie, I'm I have to turn it down because I'm in the middle of working on a TV show. Like I just had to turn down working on a Jack Black movie that they called me for twice. And I would have
Oh,
loved to do that, but I was already committed to this show.
yeah. A show is a lot bigger than a movie.
It is usually a longer time working for sure. Um, but movies tend to pay a little better and they're easier to work on because you have one script for the whole time. Whereas the movie we do it or the with TV we do it an episode every 8 or 9 days. And so you're
Yeah.
constantly getting new scripts and having to do new stuff. Whereas, you know, before you get started, you have like 6 weeks to 8 weeks of prep before you're shooting anything. And if you're organized enough on a movie, you can pretty much get all your graphics done in that 6 to 8 weeks because you know what they all are. But in TV, you only know what they are for the first episode.
Okay, yeah. Mm. You run also a small YouTube channel.
Yes, that I will start updating again soon. I just actually recorded like 10 episodes of it. that I just need to edit.
Uh, how did you thought of doing YouTube?
Um, so I hold on, I have to cough. Oh boy. So since before I worked in movies, I have been into uh props and collectible and prop replicas. And I like collecting them and making them. And I just made a YouTube channel to show making props. Um, and now I'll expand it into collecting them as well. And like I review them as well. So, um, like I have a video coming up on how I made this Westworld maze that you can see over my head here. Um, yeah, there's nothing else in the shot, but that's one. Or my Hour Man Hourglass from Stargirl. I got a how-to video coming up on that, on how I made that. And yeah, it's I don't know why I feel the need to like make a podcast and tell people things or make a video and tell people things, but it's something I feel compelled to do and to spend too much money doing. It always costs me more than I make.
Okay, yeah. Uh, an expensive hobby.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm, Dang. I don't think I have any more questions, to be honest. And we
No.
have 7 minutes and 50 seconds left.
Oh, oh yeah, I see that time left countdown. Yeah. Uh, Nothing else? Did you get the one that you were having trouble translating?
Yep.
You did get that one out. Good. All right. Well, it's been lovely chatting, I guess. If
Yeah,
you're sure you got nothing else. And you can always we can always jump back on if you have any other questions.
it would be cool.
Yeah. All right. If there's nothing else, then I hope you have a great night. I
Uh,
am gonna go sink myself into a mild coma, I think, so that I can be energized for the weekend.
uh, you mean you will go to sleep?
Well, I'm gonna rest. I'm not gonna go to sleep yet because it's 8 o'clock here. That would be
Yeah,
insane. But I've just finished my work week. I rushed here from work to jump on with you, and now I'm gonna like kick my shoes off and relax. I'm still wearing my shoes. That doesn't mean anything to you. If you knew me, you would be astonished that I'm still wearing my shoes after having been home for almost an hour.
okay. Uh, have a nice rest and
You have a great day. It's super late for you, isn't it?
it's 1 a.m.
1 a.m. in Germany. Excellent. Germany, yes?
Yes, Germany. I'm
Yes.
living in Germany.
Great. Well, have a good time. I hope you enjoy living in an actual functional democracy. I miss those days. Um, and have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Thank you for agreeing to do this, and uh, see you another time.
Yeah, absolutely not a problem. Have a good one.
Bye.